Welcome to Manen Farms. Spring on Manen Farms is a little crazy, so you won't see everyone in one place. We will divide this farm tour into 5 sections: taking care of pigs, taking care of cattle, sweet corn, before planting field work, and planting. Your tour guides will be me, Miss Van Manen, my mom, Julie, my dad, Kevin, my brother, Jacob, and my sister-in-law, Kate. Kennedy, Snookers, and Braden will also be making guest appearances.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm going to take you on the tour of our pig operation. I've been on the farm for 32 years now. I made a quick transition from a city girl to a farm wife when I married Kevin. My role on the farm varies from season to season. I am typically the gopher and do many odd jobs around the farm, from running parts to the field, to helping with cattle chores, to loading pigs, to bookwork, and anything in between. As we walk up to the sidewalk and approach the building, the first thing you see is this sign with a stop sign on it. And the sign reads, "No entrance without authorization." That means that we do not allow just anyone in the pig building, because biosecurity is something that we take very seriously when it comes to the health of our pigs as well. Biosecurity is the prevention of disease arriving and spreading in the pig building. Our main goal here is to keep diseases from the outside from entering the building. If a disease does enter the building, it could spread quickly throughout the building. One of the ways that we prevent diseases from entering the building is limiting visitors, especially if the visitors have been around other pigs, and putting on clean boots that are specifically for the pig building once you enter. Here, Miss Kennedy demonstrates putting on her different boots as she enters the pig building. Another thing that needs to be done in order to prevent disease spread is to be sure that the building is nice and clean in between groups of pigs. So once we sell the big pigs that go to market, and before we get little pigs in, the building needs to be power washed. So that means everything is clean and sanitized. The buildings that we raise our pigs in are considered environmentally controlled buildings. The building that you see in this picture can hold 2,400 pigs. Here you see what I call the brains of the building. This box of controllers controls the temperature, feed, the fans, the curtains, and the heaters, and the misters, all very important pieces in keeping the pigs comfortable. Comfortable pigs grow faster. The temperature in the building can fluctuate depending on the size of the pigs. The pig building is usually between 66 and 68 degrees and 56 and 58 degrees. In the winter, the heaters keep the pigs warmer. And in the summer, the misters cool the pigs off because pigs can't sweat. The curtains are also controlled by the building. The curtains and fans help maintain the temperature while also controlling the ventilation in the pig building. The sensophone is another important part of the building controls. The sensophone is the alarm system that makes sure everything is running properly and lets us know if it is not. The sensophone is programmed to call our phones if electricity goes out, if the building is too cool or too hot, or if the pigs are being too loud. We can also call the pig building to hear what is going on in each room.
Hello, it is now 4:37 p.m. Zone 1, 74 degrees Fahrenheit, okay. Zone 2, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, okay. Zone 3, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, okay. Zone 4, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, okay. Sound is okay. The power is on. The batteries are okay. The output is off. Listen to the sound for 10 seconds.
The pigs arrive on our farm when they're 6 to 8 weeks old and are weighing between 30 and 40 pounds. All of our pigs come from a sow farm down in Missouri. The pigs arrive in usually 3 to 4 truckloads, depending on their size. Once the trucks arrive, the pigs are unloaded into the chute and herded into the barns. Once the pigs get into the barn, they are counted off. It is kind of difficult sometimes. You really have to concentrate to count pigs. There are about 40 pigs in each pen. The pigs quickly find fresh water and feed and make themselves comfortable in their pens. Nutrition is a huge part of raising pigs. The pig feed is mixed at a feed mill and then delivered in semis and put into the bulk bins that are outside. Each bulk bin holds about 14 tons of feed. The feed is then brought into the buildings through augers, which are enclosed in these white tubes. Pigs are fed carefully balanced rations that match their age and weight, and that consists mainly of corn, soybeans, with some vitamins and minerals added. Pigs always have access to clean, fresh water. Pigs grow fast naturally. At birth, piglets weigh 2 to 3 pounds. At 4 weeks, they weigh 15 to 20 pounds. When they arrive at our farm, they weigh between 30 and 40 pounds. And when they're ready for market, they weigh 280 pounds. When the pigs are ready for market, Kevin goes through the pens to determine which ones are the biggest and need to go to market first. And when he has identified them, he sprays a spray can of paint across their back, a strip across their back. And when the truck comes, it is time to sort them out. The ones with the marks get on the truck, and the rest of them stay in the pens. That is my job, to make sure only the marked ones leave the pens. I was pretty proud of myself a few weeks ago when we loaded out fat hogs, and we had 3 loads in a row that I didn't let any unmarked ones pass. Each semi holds around 200 pigs that will be ready for market. $140 pounds of the market pig is made into consumable meat or pork, which is your ham, bacon, pork chops, ribs. In addition to the meat, what happens to the other part of the pig? The other parts of the pig are used for lots of things, and that is what we call the byproducts. Yes, ham, bacon, pork chops, pork loin, and sausage all come from pigs, but so does insulin, heart valves, footballs, gelatin, burn dressings, matches, crayons, and a whole lot more things. So many different things come from a pig that we really do use everything but the oink. Pigs also create a lot of poop. The best type of waste management in any livestock operation converts manure into a resource rather than creates a disposal problem. Many hog producers also raise crops, so manure, treated correctly, offers valuable nutrients for the soil. Our manure is stored in a pit below the building. so that it's contained so there's no runoff and is used as fertilizer for our crops. We will talk about that more in the spring fieldwork video. The nutrient cycle graphic is one that we like to use to show the sustainable cycle on our farm. One of the things that led us to the decision to put up the modern hog barn several years ago was the resource that it provided to our crops for the fertilizer. This amount of natural fertilizer that we can apply from our pig building reduces the cost on our crop side of the farm. Thank you for visiting the pig barn today. Now I hope you enjoy the rest of your tour.
Hi, I'm Kate and I'm married to Jacob. I grew up on a farm in northwest Iowa, so farm life isn't new to me. My role on the farm mainly consists of keeping Jacob organized, opening gates, and helping out whenever and wherever I am needed. Jacob and I also have a 2-year-old named Kennedy and one on the way. We have all enjoyed watching Kennedy grow up on the farm, picking corn, helping with chores, and being the entertainment at coffee time. Jacob and I live a 1/4 mile away from the farm, so we don't miss out on any of the action. We raise Holstein steers. Steers are male calves. The calves come from a dairy because male calves are not useful in the dairy operation. Holsteins are naturally social creatures and they like to chew on everything. They are fed a little different diet than beef cattle. If you feed and fatten the Holsteins right, you have good quality beef. We think they make the best hamburgers and steak. Most of the cattle on the farm are housed in hoop barns, which protect them from the weather, snow in the winter and heat in the summer. The first thing that must be taken care of each morning before we get to the field is the livestock. The livestock are taken care of every day, 365 days a year, hot days, freezing days, and even Christmas Day and the 4th of July. Here you can see the feed getting mixed. The feed is mixed in a mixer wagon. The first thing that is added is corn from last fall's harvest. The corn provides protein and energy. Each ingredient is carefully measured to ensure accurate rations for each stage in the animal's diet. The next ingredient that is added is a liquid balancer. It mainly consists of molasses, which is very high in protein and contains many other vitamins and minerals. It also makes the feed a little tastier. After each ingredient is added, accurate records are taken. Soybean meal is then added, which adds protein to the diet. Next, the distiller's grains are added, which are leftovers from making ethanol. Finally, the mixture is topped off with some ground hay. This hay grinder grinds several bales in just 1 hour. And now we are ready to feed the calves. Cornstalk bales provide bedding for the cattle to keep them warm and dry and give them a nice soft place to lay. Let's talk beef. It takes a calf about 14 months before it is ready for market. Market weight is around 1,400 pounds. From a 1,400 pound steer, you get many quarter pounders, as well as steaks, ribs, and roasts. Beef is very good for you as it is a natural source for more than 10 essential nutrients, including zinc, iron, and protein. I'm very blessed that my mother-in-law, Julie, has 3 deep freezers to store all of our beef, and I can just take it when we need it. That's a wrap on the Holsteins. Now on to the field work.
I'm Kevin. My great-grandmother bought this place in 1926. I have farmed ever since I could walk. I followed my dad around for as long as I can remember. Now I farm with my wife, Julie, my son, Jacob, and daughter-in-law, Kate, and our daughter, Emily, and her fiance, Braden, also help us a lot. Last fall, we had more rain than usual, which delayed harvest. So a few other tasks that we do after harvest had to be put off until spring, but they needed to be done before we could begin spring planting. One of the first things that we did was to bale corn stalks for our cattle operation. First, the stalks are raked into windrows. Then they are baled into large round bales. Once the bales are made, they need to be removed from the field. To do this, we have a bale trailer that is pulled with the pickup. Each bale is loaded onto the trailer using the skid loader. Hauling manure. The pig manure is pumped out of the pit and loaded into a semi, and then hauled to the field where it is then loaded into the manure tank and injected into soil. The manure is tested to find out the content of the nutrients so we know how much to apply. And then soil tests are also taken, which to ensure that there's a proper balance of nutrients in the soil to maximize crop production. Each year we turn a manure management plan into the DNR that states how much manure is put on each field. We also have cattle manure. The cattle manure is solid, so it is handled differently. We load it with a loader bucket attached to the tractor into a manure spreader. It is then spread over the field. After many days of hauling manure in the winter and spring, tractors get very dirty. So it is nice to get them all nice and shiny clean for spring planting. Anhydrous ammonia. Some of our nutrients are applied through manure. Anhydrous ammonia is added to some fields to satisfy crop nitrogen needs. soil finisher discs, cultivates, and levels the soil all at the same time, saving trips across the field. It leaves a nice seed bed to plant into, but also leaves residue on the surface. The soil finisher gives the warming and drying benefits of tillage, yet the soil conservation benefits of leaving residue left on top. Now we are going to turn it over to Jacob. It is time to plant some corn.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I've lived on the farm my whole life. I attended Central College and majored in finance and accounting. And then after college, started farming full-time with my dad. My major roles on the farm include taking care of all the cattle and doing field work. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about planting. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about seed corn. One of the things you want to do before the season starts is select varieties or select hybrids. There's a lot that goes into picking the right hybrid for the right farm. Like some varieties of corn may be better for heavy dark soil. Some might be better for lighter sandier soil or poorer soil. So you want to select the hybrids that'll perform the best on different soils. The first thing we do is load up a pallet of seed corn onto the pickup and haul it out to the field to the planter. Then we unload the bag of seed corn into the planter. And the planting begins. And now I'm going to take you through a little bit of my view from the cab. So we have 3 different screens here in the cab. So this is the precision planting monitor. It gives you a snapshot of what exactly is happening in the field at any given time, what we're planning for population, the downforce, the conditions, all kinds of different information. This screen is what's showing the GPS or the auto steer. It's just the monitor that sets the line, and then the tractor follows the line all by itself. So this screen, this is just an iPad that's connected to the precision planting monitor. It just maps exactly what's happening or what has happened. Now let's take a look at what's going on outside with the planter. As you can see at the very front, we have the row cleaners with the spiky tips. What that does is that'll just clean off the very tip of the soil, making for a nice seed bed. Followed by that, there's the wheels behind that are called gauge wheels. That's just making sure that the seed's going to depth. And inside there, but you can't see it, there's a tube and disc openers, and then that tube will just drop the seed right in the ground. Followed by the very back 2 wheels. Those are called press wheels or closing wheels. And what that does is just closes the trench behind. Safety is really important on the farm. I want to talk about a couple things that we look for or make sure are working when we're going down the road. You can see there's an orange and red sign on both the tractor and the planter. That's called an SMV or slow moving vehicle sign. That's designed to reflect mainly in the dark off your headlights. And then also we'll have flashing lights on the tractor and on the planter. What I like being a young farmer is being able to set your own schedule, being able to be your own boss, being able to work outside almost every day. I feel like it's a rare opportunity that a lot of people don't get to do. Although it is challenging at times, there's nothing else I'd rather do.
An editor's note about this video is that it was recorded about midnight in the tractor. During the spring, when it is nice out, it's hard to get Jacob to stop or slow down for a little bit. So I had to go to him and join him in the tractor to record this video. Up next, you'll get to join me as we take a tour of the sweet corn business. Hello everyone, I'm Emily, or also known as Miss Van Manen. I grew up on the farm and still like to help out when I can. I do some odds and ends on the farm. Some of my tasks include power washing the tractors in the pig buildings, loading pigs, and helping out wherever else I'm needed. Today I'm going to talk to you about sweet corn. If you are looking for me in July or August, you will most likely find me in the sweet corn patch or at one of the roadside stands. My parents started Van Manen sweet corn when I was 3 and Jacob was 5. Once Jacob and I were in high school and college, we officially took over. The price of sweet corn has changed a little bit since we took over. Jacob does all of the planting and care for the sweet corn. He makes sure the sweet corn is as weed-free and bug-free as possible. My job consists of mainly selling sweet corn. Many days you will find me at our sweet corn stand in Newton. I also coordinate our high school employees and make sure that they are manning the stands at the other locations. Another task of mine is helping with the marketing of the sweet corn, but I get a lot of help from my sister-in-law who has a full-time job in marketing for that. The planter that we use to plant sweet corn is a little smaller than the planter that we use to plant field corn. However, just like field corn, it is important to select the correct varieties when planting sweet corn. We want to select varieties that grow sweet, delicious corn quickly. We also want the corn to be appealing to the customer, so we want to find varieties that are colorful and have large ears. Sweet corn is planted in increments. This year, the first round of sweet corn was planted on April 1st, one of the earliest plantings that we have had. Every week or so, Jacob will plant some more corn so that we have corn that is ready at different times throughout the entire summer. Here's a picture of Jacob planting some sweet corn last summer. You can see that the plants around are starting to get pretty big, but he is still planting corn, so there is more corn that is ready later in the summer. This year we tried something new and Jacob invested in a plastic mulch layer machine. This machine lays a plastic piece over the newly planted sweet corn to keep the soil warm. The plastic has the same effect as a greenhouse would. This allows us to be able to plant the sweet corn earlier than usual, which will hopefully allow us to get the sweet corn on the market earlier. Here you can see Jacob and Kennedy checking to see if the corn has germinated. You will notice the condensation on the top of the plastic, showing that the plastic is doing its job in keeping the soil warm. After the corn has emerged, the plastic is lifted. These pictures of sweet corn were taken on Monday, April 27th. In early July, the sweet corn will be ready to be harvested. Jacob and I both get the job of harvesting sweet corn. All of our harvesting is done by hand. We pick the sweet corn and then load it in the back of the gator. A lot of mornings we will pick many gatorfuls of sweet corn. Snickers is our unofficial taste tester. She likes to help out in the sweet corn patch and grab a morning snack while she's at it. Our sweet corn is then loaded from the gators into the pickups to go to town to sell at the different roadside stands. We also sell our corn to local grocery stores. And Kennedy, the youngest member of Van Manen Sweet Corn, loves to help out and deliver sweet corn whenever she can. And one of our favorite things to do is to taste test the delicious Iowa State Fair award-winning sweet corn. It is important to note the difference between field corn and sweet corn. 99% of corn grown in Iowa is field corn, not the delicious sweet corn that you might enjoy on the cob. Field corn is the classic big ears of yellow dented corn you see dried and harvested in the fall. Field corn is processed for use as corn cereal, corn syrup, and livestock feed, and it's considered a grain. Sweet corn, however, is what people purchase fresh, frozen, or canned for eating. It's consumed as a vegetable. Sweet corn also has a lot smaller stalks than field corn. And what do we do with all of our free time on Van Manen Farms in the spring? We spend time in the garden. We go on lots of gator rides. And we keep entertained by Kennedy. Even Snickers the farm dog gets exhausted keeping up with all that's going on in the spring. Now that you were able to experience just a little bit about where the miracle of food begins, hopefully that will make you appreciate your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and anything in between just a little bit more.